Check, check, check. 1, 2. Check 1, 2, 3.
Good evening to everyone watching the YouTube live stream. The town hall will commence in approximately 20 minutes at 6 p.m.
Hello. Hello. It's on. Oh, he's got. I think he's there. Hello. Hi. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. We're going to get started in a couple of seconds here. Just to get started, we are streaming online. So if y'all have a question, we prefer that you keep it to the end and ask it into the microphone so that our streaming audience at home can hear what you're asking. And then for our streaming audience at home, if you've got a question, feel free to put that question into the chat, and we've got somebody monitoring that who will ask that question for you. Right? And then if anybody needs the restrooms, they're right outside.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Vanna is our legislative, yeah. She does a great job. So when we get ready to go to Washington or Austin or any of our other conventions, she is on point. She does a hell of a job. She came from our state rep, Chris Turner's office, almost a year now. Almost a year. So she's done an outstanding job. So I thank you, and I thank you. And, I always tell you thank you for, she's kind of between her and my other staff. They're kind of like the backbone for me of not getting in trouble or slipping up or not showing up. Always reminders, hey, remember this, remember that, here we go. But every time, like when we go to Washington, here's your itinerary, here's who you're seeing, congressman, who I'm meeting with, here it is, let's go. So I thank you, and can't give enough thanks to you. I couldn't do this without you, so thank you. So yes. So welcome, everyone. Yes, give her a round of applause. So, I was just talking to her and Candace and Claudia just outside the door. And, here you are, Claudia. And so when I first came on in 2017, it was at the Women's Academy there on Marshall and 14th Street, the Young Women's Leadership. And I had like almost 130. And the week before, when I met with our city manager at that time, Tom Hart, I said, hey, I'd like to have a town hall every 3 months. He was like, whoa, that's a little too much. And I said, well, but I want to be informed. I want to get everybody in, inclusion, get them included, let everybody know what's happening, what we're doing, what our vision is. He's like, yeah, but that's a lot from our staff. Got to have all department heads there, everybody there. It's a lot on overtime and whatnot. And so I said, okay. He goes, but how about if I get more people than the last person that was here? If I can get more than her, can I do it? He was like, yeah. And I said, okay. And I said, well, how many people did the former council member have? He said, well, her last one, she only had 3 people there. And I'm like, wow, okay. And so my first one, I had close to 130. I had 127 people. Said, all right, we're on to something. Finding out there are a lot of complaints. And so, hey, let's take those, tell me what's going on. Let's put out those fires, this and that. And so over the years, the group's been getting smaller and smaller. And I'm like, oh, man, what's happening here? But the last one that I did while we were leaving, our Chief Chesney, Chief of Police, I said, man, the attendance is getting lower and lower. He said, Mike, that's a good thing because nobody's complaining. We're not getting complaints at City Hall. We're not getting complaints in the fire department or the police department. So you're doing a good job. So I thank y'all. I was like, all right, how many we get tonight? But it shows. But I thank y'all for making the time to come out and support and ask questions. And it's rightfully so. Y'all need to know what's going on within District 3 or within the city. So we're going to do a slideshow here real quick. And before we get started, our city manager, Mr. Bill Hills, he's making his way in. So this is our city manager here, Mr. Hills. So now we've converted to where instead of having all the department heads, I think if I can't answer it, he will. But they need to get home to, they've had a long day and get home and to their families and whatnot. We'll try to be in and out within an hour and a half if need be. But Claudia, do we have a video or we're going to go straight? We're going to do a video first, and then we'll do a slideshow, and then it's going to be y'all. What questions y'all have or concerns or things of that I can answer or Mr. Hills can answer, and we'll go from there.
Welcome to Grand Prairie, of everything, home to 206,000 residents and growing. As 2025 wraps up, here's a look back at the progress we've made together and the promising future ahead. Your safety is by far our top priority. That's why we will continue to fund and support our Grand Prairie police and fire departments. Their life-saving efforts earned our city the distinction as the safest city in DFW in 2025.
An outstanding EMS response recognition for the 11th year in a row, and the highest rating by the Insurance Services Office, which reduces your insurance rates. We also want to make sure our roads are safe, so we've allocated over $26 million from the city budget for our Transportation and Mobility Department, which oversees street services and roadway improvements all over our wonderful city. Well-maintained roads make it easier for the city to pick up 2.2 million pounds of waste every single day and haul it off to get processed efficiently. It's a big job, but it's worth it to keep your neighborhoods clean in a way that is sustainable and convenient for you. Another way we work hard for your convenience is by processing 42 million gallons of water through our 885 miles of city water lines every single day, all to make sure your water is safe, clean, and reliable. But we're also committed to making Grand Prairie a better place to enjoy with your family by funding and supporting our award-winning parks, libraries, and free events like Main Street Fest, voted the best music festival in DFW. And it'll keep getting bigger and better thanks to a Main Street development project, which promises to transform downtown into a beautiful, pedestrian-friendly destination with state-of-the-art public spaces for all kinds of free events and activities. Downtown will also feature new housing options in the form of modern condos and townhouses, as well as affordable homes in our new Alice Court development. Grand Prairie is also growing to the south with a new 5,000-acre master-planned community called Goodland. To accommodate this growth, Grand Prairie is expanding its infrastructure and response with our new Fire Station 11. All of this is just the beginning of the big plans in store for your wonderful city, but we want to make sure we grow responsibly. And that's why we're here tonight, so you can hear from us and we can hear from you. Thank you for joining us at tonight's Town Hall.
It's a lot. We got a lot going on. So as we get started here, I like to move around. I do a lot of public speaking, not only here, but in the schools. So it's hard for me to sit up here, so I like to move around. I think I speak loud enough, but I think I have to kind of stay still because we're online too, right? So please bear with me. But that being said, before I get started and get into the weeds of all of this, again, I want to thank y'all for coming out, but also, how are y'all doing? Thank you for coming. I want to thank Mom and Dad. My parents are here. I wouldn't be here without them. They passed the torch on to me 10 years ago, if not longer. So I'm thankful for being here and doing what I do. But without y'all, I couldn't be here. So thank you very much. Now, that being said, our family almost has 60 years here. And so we've seen the growth of Grand Prairie. We've seen where I-20 and 360 going into Arlington turned into a dirt road. We've seen where Home Depot and Target and all that places used to be all pastures. I used to ride horses back there. Before Joe Pool Lake was built, me and my friends would ride horses out there and do rattlesnake hunting. So we've seen growth. But here in the last several years and going into the next 20 years, 25 years, where Grand Prairie is going to be. And so I've seen the past, I'm in the present, and I'm so excited for what's going to happen in the future. So just, I'll grab the pointer here. And so just, these are some of the things that are coming in to Grand Prairie through Tony Ramirez. He's done a great job. He's out of El Paso. He took over, how long ago, Bill? A little over a year ago, and he is top notch. He is bringing in companies that are already, there's companies here that are already here that he's helping expand. There's companies that are coming in from other states and see the value of what Texas brings, like Modine. These is a company that are going to build these huge AC, I guess, air conditions that are size of a 40-foot trailer that'll go inside these data machines that are coming to Grand Prairie. These data machines that are going to be bringing growth to our southern end of Grand Prairie. So next slide. So that being said, you see what's coming up. You know, I know everyone is excited about roses. Can't, you know, and that's been on a little delay because when we were going through concept and planning, there was a little of alignment with the gas that we have next door. So they had to move over a little, and it took a little bit to get approval and all of that stuff. But, you know, we have BJ's. Have everybody heard of BJ's? So you see that walls are already coming up. If y'all have seen that, they're coming up, and that's going to be good. It's going to be competitive. Crunch Fitness, another fitness place, they're going to be opening up any day now. They've already have it equipped. Golf Ranch for you golfers, they're at Joe Pool Lake. This is a new idea, and so because you can really practice your golf swing, and they have cameras and a digital that it records your swing. And so while you're there, you can watch what you're doing wrong, what you need to improve, and things of that. Then they have food and drinks out there. So it's a place, you know, that you can actually, I was like, man, you can actually do a date night here. So if you want, take your better half. Y'all can go out there and hang out for a little while, you know. But at the same time, I asked them because we have Top Golf coming, and they should be opening up pretty soon. And I said, what is y'all's competitive edge to them? And he says, well, this is more for the serious golfer. This is more for that person, man, woman, child, that really wants to improve their game. Top Golf is more for entertainment, group settings, hanging out, blah, 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 this and that. But this is a lot more serious for the serious golfers. So it's a really nice place. They've done a great job, and they're still adding to it. But I think for us, especially going out there, because we don't have many golf ranges here, but I think that brings good value, especially with the neighborhoods around it. I think that's going to work very well. Next slide, please. Say that again. Yeah. Yeah. Now, which one were you talking about? Back nine. That is what is back nine? I don't know. We haven't heard of that one yet. Maybe for something that's still an executive that we haven't brought to us. Very new. Yeah. Yeah. I personally, I haven't. We did speak about, you know, Top Golf, and that's going to bring a whole different element to entertainment here in Grand Prairie. It's really nice. Now, this one is supposed to be like their latest and greatest design of all the other places. And so this is going to be kind of their flagship now. And I think here they should be opening within the next couple of weeks. Oh, in February. Okay. Next couple of months. Well, there you go. Okay. There we go. So it's in that shopping center. All right. I must have fell asleep during that one. Next one, please. All right. So we spoke about and you saw in the video how we're ISO rated 1. And this is a true testament. So my mother, not too long ago, how long ago was it, Mom, that they came and picked you up? In August. And you had like a minor stroke, symptoms of it. And so they were able to get her with her conditions to the hospital and have her stable by the time she got there. And so for Grand Prairie, that has a population over 200,000, I think we're 220 plus, and we don't have a hospital. And they were able to save her life. They were able to stick her and get her in the hospital. By the time the doctor came, her numbers were already coming down. And that speaks volume when you're dealing with traffic, when you're dealing with this, all these elements to get her there or to get anyone else there within 15 minutes. And so for us to carry that, I commend. Matter of fact, it was in Austin because I think it was a couple of weeks after that, we did our budget meeting, and I talked to Chief Fight, and I thanked him. And I said, Mom's going to get you tamales come December. So he got his tamales there. So, but it speaks a lot of who we are and what we are and what we're able to offer as a city. Now, the blessing of that is all of, the paramedics, most of our firemen and all of them and women are all paramedics. So not only do they know how to fight the fire, but also how to save a life. And a lot of cities don't do that, and they don't have that. But I'm very, very grateful that we offer that. And that's even especially with our new Fire Station 11 that's down south, and we're still growing, and we'll get into that here in a bit. But it's what we have to offer y'all. And so as we grow as a city, as a community, it's the value that we're bringing. And that speaks volume compared to everyone, especially since we're a mid-city, because we're surrounded by hospitals. And it's unfortunate we don't have one yet. So that being said, next slide. So this one here just shows here in over the last 15 years of what we're doing here. Our crime is down in 26% in District 3. But overall, as a city, we're very, very competitive. I think we're in the top 5. And that's volume. That speaks good. Now, growing up, I born and raised here. Growing up in this district that I represent, I'm very proud of that. But a lot of us here grew up in District 3, grew up in the neighborhood. It wasn't the best neighborhood. It wasn't. I remember there are a lot of things that happened out the lake. Back then we had gangs and we had all that, but it was a lot worse back then. But to see the improvement. Now, in 2017, when I first came on, one of the first things I wanted to do was to get, which was called Mountain Creek Park at the time. And growing up in that park, riding bikes, all that stuff, I saw a lot of things, a lot of bad things. And so one of my commitments was to work, finding out that it was in Dallas County, that park was actually Dallas and not Grand Prairie. I worked with former Council Casey Thomas to get that. And so it took me 2 years, and I had it annexed over to Grand Prairie. We cleaned it up. We put what I call the sky in the eye, put police towers out there, police officers on bikes. The neighborhood started seeing, they started coming back out, pointing out where's the fires we need to put out. We cleaned out prostitution, drug selling, all that within a year. And we'll see the development of what's happening now. But it's a lot. The parks, our parks department, Racer, has done an awesome job of converting and working us with the council to get the parks, because a lot of families go out there. And for us, so when we renamed it Mi Familia, because a lot of our families went out there to the park when it was Easter, do all that stuff. We had to get out there early. Dad stay with the grill, go get everything else. But that's who we are as District 3. Our families, we spent time out there. So it was just right. And if y'all haven't been out there lately, please go by. We've done phase 1, new playgrounds, new trails. We're working on phase 2. When we were in Washington this past March, we spoke with our lobbyists up there, came back, spoke with staff to start applying for grants for solar panels to keep it lit at night if anybody's going to be walking out there for safety. But we've done so much here in District 3 at that park that I'm very proud of it. Very proud of it. Now, most of us our families are from South Texas, from Rio Grande Valley. And so where mom and dad are from, McAllen, they call it the City of Palms. And so my first term, I was like, I'd like to have palm trees. Like, what? So we planted some out there. Unfortunately, with our weather, they don't survive. But for the time, it looked great. So the thought that counts. We took a picture. I posted it. Here we go. Next slide, please. So if everybody wants to look at this, this pretty much tells our code compliance. What are our issues that we've been working on? Things of that. High grass, 10 inches or more. Cars illegally parked, outside storage. These are all things that are an ongoing concern, issues that we deal with every day with the city. Doesn't matter what district it is. But it's on the forefront of keeping everything not only compliant, but within our neighbors. I know that, even me, I have issues in the past with my neighbor, the fence, the yard, hey, this and that. I'm always calling code. And so just to look of what we've been working on and what are the items that we work with here on a daily basis. And trash, we'll talk about trash here in a bit. And there's some changes coming to that. But this just gives you a pie, how we cut this up of what we're working with. Next slide. So speaking about trash, we just had our council meeting here this week, and we spoke about this, of what's going to be coming here in the near future. Next slide. Here's what's coming. So this is going to be in phases. This is going to be in phase. Unfortunately, ours is going to be the last phase. But, so they did a survey. You know, they did a survey a year ago. Have said yes, have said no. But depending on what district you were and where you live, it was even more. But it was one of those things where you have to change with times. You know, and a lot of it is, what is tomorrow bringing? And so not only are we going to have for the garbage, but we'll also have for the recycle also. And so depending on, like, for instance, District 3, it's the second oldest district. You go south of 20, there's more alleyways, and the alleys are wider. Our district, our neighborhoods, the alleys, if we do have alleys, they're very narrow. So it's going to be challenging. You know, what's the solution here? But it's just like everything else. You've got like AI coming, you know, battery car, you know, all that stuff. It's a sign of times. Can't change it. Can't say no. It's coming. How do we adjust? So just wanted to give. It's going to start here. It's going to be effective in April. But right now we're going into phase 1. And I think that's south of 20.
The initial effective on April 6th, it'll start south of 20 all the way down. It's 1,500 homes on the southernmost end of the city. Then it'll be on October 1 of 2027. We're going to roll it out to the whole city, all the rest of the city, all at the same time. So the pilot program, which is the one in April, is just to make sure we get all the kinks out before we roll it out to the whole rest of the city. And as Councilmember Bosque was saying, this is an industry standard now. We, as a city, have negotiated this contract because we cannot not go to carts. The industry is going to carts. It has become virtually impossible for them to man trucks in order to do it with human labor, rather than utilizing the machine, the truck that will lift the cart and dump it and go. So the whole industry is going to that. We're at a point where we needed to renegotiate the contract, and we did so, and we negotiated probably one of the very best deals that could be negotiated. At the time in October, the trash portion of your water bill will not go up more than about $2. And your carts are free. The other thing is, if the 95-gallon cart is too much for you, there will be a 65-gallon cart that will be available that you can request, and it'll be a much smaller cart in order to make it easier for you to handle.
Yep. Thank you, sir. Yep. So last week, Mom and Dad and I were down in South Texas in my colony visiting family, and I was out walking one morning, and I saw them come by, and I watched them, and I followed them for a block. How do they pick up their trucks? You know, people putting them out there, recycling, and all of a sudden trash come in first. And about 6 minutes later, here comes recycle. And it was all done, and everybody's coming back out and picking them up. I'm like, okay, that's what we're heading to. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. We just have to adjust to it. Next slide, please. So this is what's going on now. Have anybody's been out to Prairie Lights? No? Joe Pool Lake. Vonna has. Great. Good job, John. So this is, if you haven't been out there, please, it's awesome. It goes along Lynn Creek Park at Joe Pool. Along the water, you drive through, you see it. We just, went through it a couple of weeks ago. Took our great grandson. He loved it. So if y'all have the time, please, I encourage y'all to go and take the grandkids or great grandkids. It is awesome. But like Mr. Rios back there in the corner, he's got great grandkids, right? There you go. You can go many times. Put them all in the back of the truck and vámonos. Let's go. Yeah. Yeah. So this is really good. Now, online, they can also get this discount, correct? Hey, how we doing, sir? They can get this online also, right? It's on our website, the discount. It's a physical coupon. And where can they pick that up? Okay, so any of your rec centers, libraries, you can pick up this $10 coupon here. Next slide. So we spoke about our parks and recreation, open space, our master plan, what we're going to be doing, what we talked about earlier, bringing families back together, bringing them out, having more family time outside. We're looking at this not only in District 3, but in all the other districts throughout Grand Prairie. The main thing is to update a lot of the playground equipment, but what is the latest and greatest? So again, when us as a council, we go to 2 conventions, main conventions every year. One in Washington to speak with our Congress members and our senators. Then we have one, which the TML, the Texas Municipal League. And that's in a different city every year. This year it was in Fort Worth. And so one of the things is they have a huge exhibit hall. And these are all companies that come out, whether it's playground equipment or solar panel lights at night, all the things that the city could use, fire trucks, all this stuff. So we go and we get ideas and we take pictures and we get the information and then we give them to staff. The staff follows up. And then we come out to the community. What are y'all wanting? What are y'all seeing? What is y'all's need? What would y'all like to see? I remember us growing up. Remember the old metal slide? And you get your ass burned going down when it's in the middle of the summer. Times have changed now, right? And so now, and you'll see here in Mi Familia Phase 1, we did that. We brought on all the latest and greatest swing sets and all that are not so hot during the summer, and it's more, and it'll last longer. The shelf life is a lot longer here. So this is what we do, and we'll be doing one here in District 3 coming up this spring. I'm working on that to bring everybody out to see what would you like at the parks. Now, District 3 has 3 parks, and so going to those neighborhoods of what would y'all like to see in here, and then we create a budget, and then we allocate a budget, and then I go look for our state rep. Our state rep here in District 3 is Jessica Gonzalez. I go to her. I see her every other year when they're in session. Here's our budget. I know for Phase 2 at Mi Familia, we've earmarked $1.4 million in her budget to add on to our city budget for Phase 2 of Mi Familia Park. And we'll see that here in a bit. Next slide, please. So here is Mi Familia Park. This is how it's cut out, going along the lake. This is right here. This is the toll going over the lake. This is some wooded area that we're going to be working on here. Phase 1, we've already done that in Phase 1. Phase 2 here. And how many of y'all been out there to the park, Mi Familia Park? If you look in the middle of it, it comes down into like a little valley. And so at the bottom of that, what we want to do is put a concrete pad there. That way we can have performances or movie night. When it's nice weather, we can put movie screens out there and bring the families out, and you can sit out on the lawn and watch a movie. If it's, let's say if it's Cinco de Mayo, you can have festivals out there, dancing, you can have mariachis, all these things. But it's geared to bring families out to enjoy the park. This right here, you can see how we're going to be bringing in new trails that people can get out there and start walking. Health and wellness is great. We're not getting any younger, right? And so we need to get out there, work those knees out, right, Mr. Sanchez? We were talking about that earlier. And so these are all things that I want to bring. Now, this is short term. We're working on Phase 2. Phase 3, if everybody sees that dot up there, I haven't brought this to council. So, Bill, just to give you, but my vision is this. The average income in this neighborhoods here is less than $50,000. There's a lot of single families, and this goes, I grew up right about over here on Avenue B. We ride our bikes down and all that. But the average income isn't a lot. One thing that I get calls on, and there's a lot of concerns, is when it freezes. Heaters, not having internet connection for the kids. So when I hear that and I listen, I envision in the years to come is to have a family life center here, a family rec center. And it's going to have to where It'll have a library, a performance hall. It'll have, I envision, a huge patio to overlook the water. And so that's what I envision of bringing to the district, bringing to the neighborhood, to where families can come out. Kids, if they need internet and they don't have it at home, they can come here to study. If it gets too cold, they can come in here as a warming station. Things of that, of how to give back to the neighborhood and make sure the neighborhood's taken care of. Now, that being said, right along out here, there's a bridge that's going to be coming because we have Hensley Field. Y'all remember the old Air Force Navy base? So we're working, Councilman Lopez and I, we have our relationships in Dallas, that we're working with them of their 20-year plan to convert those 700 acres where the Navy base used to be into a city. It's a city within a city inside Dallas, but it's going to have homes, apartments, restaurants, all kinds of entertainment. It'll have grocery stores, its own first response fire, PD and fire. But we want to add a bridge to connect. So if the people that live around here, if they want to ride their bikes or walk across the bridge, which is going over part of the lake, and they want to go out to eat there, because their vision is to have restaurants along the lake. So it's going to be the walkability, and we're going to get into another project we're working on, but it's going to bring families to where they can come and just walk the park, then walk across the bridge and have dinner and walk back. So there's a lot that we're working on that it's going to take time. It's going to take a hell of a lot of money, but we see the vision and we see the opportunity and we also see the need. And so with all three of those, this is us working together to help those in the future here. Next slide. So this is here our CIP, which is our capital improvement plan, working with TRA, Trinity River, on projects that we need to be doing to get ready. Our flow meters, all of these, the smoke tests, all these things that we're working on to make sure the viability of our neighborhoods. Next slide. This is another one here that we're going to be replacing 3 major water lines, meters in Grand Prairie, in District 3. Y'all see them here, 1, 2, and 3 up here, where they're at. These of here. I know the one here on, what is it, Lakeview and Beltline, that busted not too long ago. I think that water, that busted last week. Sunday? Yeah. So we're working. It's just, and you got to remember, we're the 2nd oldest district. And so we have a lot of utilities that need to be updated. It's just that time. Right now in District 3, if we replace a street, an average street in a neighborhood is $1 million. But when we replace the street, we also have to go and replace the waste lines. The way they designed it back in the 70s and 60s is they put all the waste lines underneath. And as in Grand Prairie, we're mostly clay. So our houses are shifting. If it gets too hot, you're not watering, everything shifts. So the pipes, back then it was all galvanized steel. So now we're going to plastics, polyplastics, which have a 20 plus, 30 year plus lifespan. But while we're there, if we're going to take out the concrete, we might as well replace all the waste lines. And so that gets very expensive. And this is what happens here. And so we're looking at that. But when we have our budget, our city budget, each district gets a certain amount. And so when I first came on in 2017, I met with the city manager, like, Mike, District 3, you get $8 million for street repairs. And I said, well, how much is the average street? Oh, it's $1 million. Hey, I only get to do 8 streets a year. I got more streets than that. And I said, hey, what about south of 20? That's a new neighborhood. They don't need that money. Can I go grab over there if they're not going to use it? No, they can't. Got to stay. So I'm always looking for ways. You know, again, we look at when we go to these conventions, I'm looking for alternatives that we can use instead of patching a street. Can we find another substance, another chemical, another anything to repair these to make it more efficient, so we can stretch the dollar a little bit more. So we're always looking for things to help to use it more efficiently, so that way I can repair more streets while we get enough money to replace them. Next slide. So this is here, 360. Have everybody ever been down 360 where it dead ends in 287? So if you go 360 and it dead ends in 287, on the other side of that is it Roberts Street or what's the street there? Well, the name of the street, what we're doing is we're working with TxDOT. We're working to expand to expand 360 to go all the way out and to tie into 67. Because we have good land out there. We just broke ground with Lake Song, and that's 2,700 acres. And that in what they're saying, 5 to 7 years of development, that'll bring at least 50,000 residents. But on the south end, on the other side, that's on the north side of 287. On the south, on the other side of 287, we still have 20.
They're developing on that area. It's going to be right in the neighborhood of 7,500, 8,000 acres. It's going to be developed there.
And we still have over 10,000 more to develop. And so we have so much growth. We're the only city that's surrounded by 4 counties: Dallas, Ellis, Johnson, and Tarrant. And so for Councilman Johnson, his district is 3 times bigger than mine. So he's always having things going on. But it's the growth that we have. It's not only residential, but it's also, light industrial. And so that's why a lot of people that are moving into Texas, they're moving into Grand Prairie. They see the opportunity, the more bang for their buck. And we're surrounded by 6 highways. So whether you go north, south, east, or west, you're going to come through Grand Prairie. You're going to cross this, whether you're on 20, 30, 287, 360, I-30, Loop 12, we touch them all. And so that being said, it's efficient for them just to get on 161 and head up to their job. They're going to work in Plano at Toyota or any of that stuff. So we give a lot. We offer a lot. So this is going to be exciting. Now, the unfortunate part is all the landowners out there. They're going to be making good money, though. They're going to be buying, selling their land. Some may not, but it's something that we have to have for growth. Next slide. Now, this is something here that we've worked on, and we're going to be talking about this a little bit on the next slide or two, but we're starting to see the increase of bikes lists. A lot of them going out there, a lot of bike groups going out, riding Grand Prairie. If you see them over Joe Pool Lake, they ride out there, the lake. They go way down south into Lake Ridge, way down on the southern part. So we're looking at that. We see them on Main Street. We'll be looking at that, putting in bike lanes on Main Street. And so that is, again, it's another means of, as far as the times that are coming, more people are getting electric bikes and just getting out there and riding and doing things of that. So we have different projects here for the next 20 years of what are we going to prioritize of what areas within Grand Prairie and District 3 that we're going to be creating bike lanes. It's just becoming more. Even more of the elderly people want to get out and just ride their bikes now. But I was really amazed of the increase of how many electric bikes are out there. It's really, a lot of people are using. Next slide. So if you look at this here, has anybody used our VIA, our transportation? So VIA, we started this several years ago, and Bill can tell you, I'm the thorn in Bill's side here. Because of my business, I do a lot of marketing outside. So I'm always on the road visiting companies, doing all this stuff. And so VIA here is a transportation that we offer that if you need to get to the grocery store, you need to get to the hospital, you need a doctor's appointment, and you're not able to drive or you don't have transportation, here's what it is. For seniors here, it's $2. For students, it's $3 to $4. And you see what we're doing here. How many rides?
Do they still pick you up on the outside street, not in front of your house?
Bingo. And Bill knows. I guess I was God send that there's a lot of times where I will see that and I will record it and I'll send it to him and to Walter, who's Mr. Schumack, who's over transportation. I said, guys, can we improve on this? Can you get with them? Can you improve it? So yes, ma'am, I am constantly working on that. What I'm trying to avoid is an accident, a liability. And you have to walk across, right? You would think. But nevertheless, we're constantly training. So if you haven't used this and you need transportation, they park right there at our library, our main library. But we have 20 How many vans? 26 vans
26.
now, all over Grand Prairie. Now, if you're a young college student and you're going to DBU, they'll take you. UTA, Mountain View, they'll take you. If you're a senior and you're at MCA, you have a doctor's appointment, they'll take you. So very economical. And instead of Uber or Lyft, for seniors for $2, that's not bad. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Hey, that's why we're here tonight. That's why we're here. That's why I have him. He's the one that calls the shots. Yeah. So now you're not hearing it from me, Bill. Correct. I agree with you. There's always room for improvement. Yeah. So if everybody wants to take a picture of this, this is their number, but it is becoming more and more popular every day. Next slide, please. All right. So this is other things that they will be able to take you to. Dallas Baptist, we talked about that. Methodist Mansfield Medical Center, USMD right there. Arlington. So these are all, and there's more to it. Good? I don't think so. No. I think they'll take you up to Trinity. I think that's where we stop.
To go to the airport would take them out of circulation too far,
Yeah.
where they could not keep the response time under 20 minutes. We asked them to maintain a response time of under 20 minutes to be at the point where they have told you that they would meet you.
Next slide. All right. So this is more of our future plan, our master plan here of what we want to do as far as with the city engagement in person, what we want to do online, getting feedback from our community, our residents of where do we want to be in the next 10 to 20 years. And so this is, pending neighborhoods opening, like what we've talked about down south. But this is something that's on our website that y'all have full access to, that I would love for y'all to be part of. And so we're going to be talking about everything. Pretty much this is what between Pioneer and Joe Pool Lake out there. So this is nothing but where are we going to be in the next 10 to 20 years? Our vision of that. But a lot of it, it's not up to you. It's up to y'all. That's why y'all elected me. I work for y'all. So a lot of the things that we see that what we're doing is coming from y'all. Just like what we're talking about via. Bill will have that call tomorrow or sometime before Christmas, hopefully. So, all right, next slide. So this is here. If anybody wants to put their phone on the QR code here, and it gives more information of what we're doing here at our Epic Central Plan. If anybody wants to do that. Good. Next slide. All right. So this is our international corridor. This is Pioneer. This is Great Southwest. This is Beltline. And this is what we call the East meets the West. And what this project is Mi Familia Park down here. The bridge starts here. Excuse me. And what this is these are projects we're going to be doing as far as the street, widening the street, bike lanes, walk lanes, that whole walkability is being able to get families out that they can just walk to the neighborhood without having any concerns of getting hit or run over. If somebody's going to be coming in. Also the mediums, redoing the mediums in here. So our county commissioner, Dr. Elba Garcia, was very considerable, and she gave us a grant for $25,000 to start the study. And at that time, so was the county commissioner, I think it was Andy Wynn back then, and he also matched it with 25. And so this is where Asian Times Square is. And so it's bringing all of this, working on Pioneer to make it easier to travel, to walk, to ride your bike, any of that stuff. It's bringing people out. And a lot of that, we're seeing empty spaces of what we can build, and work was as an incentive for people that want to bring their business. Like I think right here, we have, I think it's Mama's Kitchen. that is right there in front of Kroger's. If y'all seen that, that's a new restaurant coming in. We've talked to the people at Kroger's. They want to bring in gas in the parking lot, but I've asked not so much of a pro quo, but more of, well, if you go into Kroger's, it's so outdated. Outside looks great, but if you go inside, it's so outdated. And I've asked them, if you're going to bring in gas, which we have a lot of gas around us, I would love for y'all to update Kroger's. And I said, if you go to 360 and Broad in Mansfield, look at that Kroger's, bring that one over here. Love to have that Kroger's over here. And so that's what we do. Hey, how can we work together? You want this? We want this. How can we all make it a win-win? But that Kroger's really needs to get updated. I mean, I don't live far from there, but I'd rather go to Tum Tum. And that's unfortunate. But that's the reality of it. How much can we talk about that, Bill? So I'll keep it a very broad stroke. A very broad stroke. They're a product of it. And so they have 4 product lines. So if we were to say HEB's coming, if we were to announce that today, it would take 7 years, average of 7 years. And so they opened up, I think the last one was in Mansfield. They're building Forney now. And there's another one, I think Frisco. But do we want him? Yes. Do we have the dirt? Yes. I think the big thing is the availability of when they can come. So can't say they're not coming, can't say they are coming. It's when can they come. And so we've looked at different, they have 4 product lines. HEB is their, but we've looked within Grand Prairie and we think we can fit 3 of their products in Grand Prairie. So if we can't get HEB, what other product like Joe V? We looked at a spot, we talked about maybe, the old Kohl's building. Can we do that? Can we buy that offer? So those are ongoing. But have we really put pen to pad and say, yeah, they're coming? No. Because to them, they've got so many other places that they've already signed the dotted line. So we're always working. We're always keeping up with them. How are things going? Anything fall through that we can jump ahead in line? Things of that nature. So love to have them here. Yes, definitely. I know, again, we were in South Texas and they're on every corner. We go out there all the time and we bring stuff back. So, no, we'd love to have them. Next slide, please. Yeah, it would be great. So these are some of the ideas that we're having for the international corridor. This is Beltline. This is Pioneer. In the intersection there, you have CVS here, the gas station, a little retail strip there. Of doing things like this, the mediums, redoing it, bringing more arts, culture, making it look better, cleaning it up, doing things like this at night, illuminating, just to bring more life. You see how it is now? Pretty plain. Yeah. Seeing what we could, can you go back to that last slide, please? So right here, you see this is like a ditch, a gutter. I've been watching videos where they're putting waste lines there, covering it up with dirt, doing all this stuff. And on top of that, doing things like this. And so I'm always looking, what's the latest and greatest and what can we do? So this is how it looks now. This is where we want to go. And this goes all the way to Great Southwest. Yes, we do that now. So for instance, this guy here. Yeah. So this guy that owns this tree, whoo, I was so close to go get my own loppers and start cutting. And so he's been a challenge. All right here, this tree, these trees here, we've had code, we've cited, we've given this, we've done that. So now we started finding him and now he's cleaning up. But it took a while. It took about 6 months to get him on, but he's online now. But all these other ones, every fall, like right now, while the leaves are dropping, we have our departments that are going up and pruning the trees. Get them up. Mm-hmm.
Right there, there's trees that you can't walk, and trees have been falling down. We've had to replace some lines because of those trees. And the houses that fell back, who's responsible for keeping those?
The town homeowner.
They're
It's,
not townhomes, they're actual homes.
so are you talking on,
Right down from the cemetery. 8th Street.
oh, yeah. So that is on ours. We have a special, that's where the cemetery is across the street or diagonal where the apartments are?
Before you get to Corn Valley. those
Okay.
houses there, the trees are falling. They're the old hackberry trees that are falling over.
Okay, yeah, I know. So we'll get code out there. We'll look at that. Yeah, we can look at that. If it's on us, then yeah, we'll trim them up. We did that. We cleaned up all the trees where 8th Street ties into Corn Valley, right across from the baseball fields in the park. There was a bunch of trees there and we cleaned all that out. So yeah, I can send code over there and we can look at that. Definitely. Next, yes, sir.
Wait, can we use the mic?
Oh,
They worked on my street on Watson and Aggie on the corner there, but they dug all there and they left it alone. Are they supposed to come back and?
you're supposed to,
Okay,
yes.
but they haven't done it yet.
Right.
Who do I call or who do?
No, we'll take care of that.
Okay,
No, I'll take care of it.
it's been a while. And then, okay, then Aggie Street, I don't know about the other streets, but I'm talking about my street.
Yeah.
Aggie Street needs it real bad. They got bumps, everything. And I don't know about the lights out there. I haven't checked the lights, but I noticed that cars go pretty fast here now. And, you know, the kids are growing up now. They got cars everywhere now.
50
And they-
plus.
Yeah, there's car, but
No, I drive them.
well, Watson there, I mean, you got cars everywhere.
Mhm.
Even on Aggie,
Yeah.
on all the streets now.
No, I was just
Yeah.
in the neighborhood just the other night. So I was there on Aggie and the other streets there. We had Noche de Navidad Bottom Elementary. And so afterwards I was driving the streets. But yeah, so Mr. Sanchez, if you have a lot of young kids speeding through the streets, what we do is we ask to get 60 signatures in the neighborhood. And as long as we get a minimum of 60, we'll go out there and put speed bumps down. No cost to y'all. Oh, yeah, we can go in and redo them. No, yeah. No, I'll come by. I'll take pictures. I always do that. Take pictures, send them to staff, and we'll go from there. Yeah, very easy.
Question on the 60 signatures. Who, do they have to be residents? They have to be voters or what?
Neighborhood, your neighbors, all residents. Yeah, it's very simple. Yeah, anybody that lives there, yeah, just get 60
Same people on the street. The same people on that particular street.
in the neighborhood. Yeah, that's all you need. We can. This is all about y'all. not about us.
Okay, I have a question down here on West Warrior and Corn Valley, you know, where they are constantly, I'm going to speak up for these people. They are constantly drunks, running lights, going across there and hitting the fences on those properties. And I noticed the other day another one's hit. They've hit the church. They've hit the church. They've hit the duplexes. And can something be put there like a barrier? There should be a barrier.
You
Y'all
have them
could,
there on,
you can put down
I can say
there.
this. The good thing that's not in my district, so I don't have to worry about it. I'm kidding.
It is your district. It is.
So what we'll do is, the first thing is we get PD, we'll put an eye in the sky. It's a tower to start recording.
You need to
And
get
then-
somebody's gonna get killed
Oh, yeah,
eventually.
it's eventually, and then once we see that, then we know, hey,
Mhm.
not to say that you're not telling the truth, but we just need to justify what we're doing. That way, if somebody says, why'd y'all do that? Well, here's the reason.
Well, they've already hit another fence down
Yeah.
there. And I feel sorry for the guy that's right there because I think his fence has been hit since I've lived over here probably 4 times. I have one more question, Code. Can something be done about cars that are sitting under the carports that do not move? They've been sitting there for years with bricks behind the tires.
Yes,
Can something be done about that?
yes.
I've called on them and nothing happens.
So here's the unfortunate part. We get so many calls that you get put on lists. But the good thing, and what I always tell everyone, and everybody can have one of these, here's my card. If you email me And that's my job. That's what I signed up for. You just email me and tell me what the street is. And if you can attach a photo, all I do is turn around and I get with Bill and I get with staff. Hey, we need to address this. And I guarantee you it'll get done 100 times faster than just a phone call. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. No. Hey, Vaughn. Does anybody want my card? Vaughn, if you can pass those out to everyone there. Yes.
Can we use the mic so
Sure.
everyone online can hear us, please?
Okay.
Hi, Mike.
Hello.
I have a question.
Okay.
I live in Las Palmas and Bueno Vista. So when I go to my work, I cross the La Fiesta. And La Fiesta en Las Bueno Vista, that's a huge, big old trees. And you can see the cars came. So I don't know if you can do something or
Yeah.
you can check.
No,
Because a lot-
definitely.
My son, one of the time, they saw the car close to him because he tried to cross the La Fiesta
Mhm.
and he can see the cars because there's a lot of trucks and the huge trees.
Yeah.
Not trees, it's pines. I don't know what is that.
Oh, those canes.
Yeah, big.
If you can, you have me on Messenger. You send me messages all the time. If you can just send me a message and just tell me, and then I will have staff come out and look at it.
Okay.
Yeah. Definitely can.
You
Yeah.
want pictures?
Yeah.
I can do it.
If you can do that, yeah.
Uh-huh. And
Yeah.
I don't know if you can fix the street.
All we can do is go
Las
out there and look at
Palmas.
it. Yeah.
Las Palmas que es ugly.
Okay. No, I'll definitely have staff out there.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Yes, sir.
Give me a sec.
Oh, we're going to get a mic to you real quick, sir.
Beltline and Marshall. One property's for sale there, one has been sold supposedly, and they're building a shopping center and that there, but nothing's happening. And it's just trees are getting bigger and that is what's happening with that.
Oh, yeah, they're gonna build that big giant shopping center across from La Fiesta. Thank you.
So that is a project that we brought 3 years ago, about 3 years ago. And so the developer came under financial stress. At that time, inflation was really high. Banks weren't giving loans out. And he didn't have enough liquid cash to do the project himself. What I've asked him to do is reconsider to either sell the land to another developer that has financial stability. And that's what we're working on now. His vision, what we wanted to do was great. It was good. Instead of having apartments, we found a different solution, but he just doesn't have the capital now. And because of what's happened the last several years, the economy and whatnot, he just doesn't have it. And the bank that he's with is not giving the loan that he needs. He's tried to sell other properties to get it, but it's just not enough. But that being said, one of the things that we need in the district is affordable housing. We need it through all of Grand Prairie, but especially in District 3. I know that's been a passion of Mr. Hill's. We've worked on a project as a council that we'll see here in a bit, but that's what we need more of. And that's what I would like to bring there is more of affordable housing. And so I'm talking to different developers to meet with him to see if he would be interested in selling so we can get that. So it's not only that 33 acres, but just north of the grocery store, there's the it's a non-denominational church just north of that. And then there's another piece of land there. And so that developer, I'm talking to him also if he can sell that, because the houses he wanted to put, it didn't go with our ordinance. And so he bought it thinking he can redo all this other stuff, and it didn't work. So he's just sitting on it. But I know that we always have developers coming in that they're looking for land. So I'm trying to get them together so they can sell it and then we can create something there.
Can we also clean up the lot on the other side of Marshall? They cut down the trees in that, but they didn't do anything
Yeah, so I asked them to cut all, because it was getting crazy in that corner. And it was hard for cars to come in to be able to see what's coming and going. And so, yeah, he didn't take away the brush. He took down the brush, but he didn't carry it away. But I'll get with him on that. Yeah. Correct. So that area there, that little hard corner also, a developer's trying to develop that, but it's so narrow the way it is. And then you have that pond back there, and there's like a 15, 18-foot drop. And so he's brought concept plans to us, but when it comes to first response, are they going to be able to get a fire truck back there? And it's very risky. Even though they said, hey, you can, but when you get out there and you do the measurements and all the numbers and code and the compliant, all that other stuff. So yes, I will address that with that developer also. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes, ma'am. She's going to bring a mic
Hold
to
on.
you.
Thank you. Y'all used to have a call in for potholes. Do y'all still have that number?
Yeah, we still have that. It's online.
It's
Yep.
online.
Mhm.
Because I've
Yes,
seen
ma'am.
several potholes that have been out there for at least 6 months and nothing's been touched.
And if you have my card, you can always email me, or my cell phone's number on there too. Y'all can take pictures and text them to me. Yeah, I think I'm the only council member that puts his cell phone on there. But you are more than welcome to do that. I have no problems with that.
Thank you. The
Yes.
other thing was, like the lady was saying about the rental homes in front of the high school.
Yes.
Is that in your district?
Yes.
What happens? We have people that come to the high school to do all kinds of projects there that they have at the high school. You know, the Flag Corps has their drill team things and stuff, and people from out of the city come in. It looks like the ghetto there. I had to say that.
No, I get with school. I'll
Those
get with
those rental people need to learn how to clean up their yards and keep from having broken windows and trash outside their doors.
Yeah. All we can do is get with code and have them start making visits.
So I would have to take the picture and put it in.
Well, we can send them out there, but if you have proof that I can show them, it's worth a lot more.
And see it. Couches on the outside of their houses. They had one with.
So the unfortunate part of is this: the majority of those are all rentals,
Right.
And so it's hard. I mean, I know the gentleman that owns more than half of them, and I talked to him. I'm like, hey, Joe, come on, what's going on? He's like, Mike, what do I do with this? They just leave in the middle of the night. They leave all this here, all this stuff, and he puts on the list for our bulk pickup. He's on the list, and he can only take so many to the landfill. But that's a lot of it is just high turnover. It's unfortunate. But nevertheless, there's always a
We
solution.
need to make the renters responsible.
But when they leave in the middle of the night and they leave,
that's their
yeah.
responsibility.
Ultimately, it's my responsibility because I have to make sure that it looks presentable. And all we can do is just keep relationships of, hey, clean it up, clean it up, clean it up. All right. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am. You can use this one, Claudia.
Or they can come up here too and
They
have more questions.
My thing is,
It should be on.
There you go.
I want to know, do you have any plans for senior assisted living homes that are affordable? Duplexes.
Yeah. So. Yes, we do. This is something that Bill and I have met. My passion is growing as his always has. We've looked at certain areas like those 33 acres that we've talked about of putting affordable homes in there. Right. No, these are affordable. These are affordable. What is it on Center Street? What is 3rd Street?
Alice Court. It's on 3rd Street.
3rd Street. So y'all remember on 3rd Street, just south or just north of, is it Clarendon?
Across the street from the school.
Yeah,
where it used to be a nursing home there.
That used to be an old nursing home. We purchased it.
Yes.
Demolished it, leveled it, and now there's
10 homes.
10 affordable homes. And y'all should look at those. Those are really, really nice. And so this is his vision that it took how many years?
It took about 3 years to get that done. And one of the things that we are looking at is there's also several lots throughout the city that are available. There are several lots that are throughout the city that are available that are, we call them infill lots. And we work with our community development housing organizations to go in and we can build homes in the infill areas. And what we do is we build a home at the one on Alice Court was very special because the city did all of the infrastructure work, put in the street, everything. Only thing we didn't do was build the house. The house was built by the Chodo, and the Chodo is selling those houses. And we make a contribution with down payment closing cost assistance and all of those types of things to make sure that those houses are affordable to families and to folks who don't otherwise would not be capable of purchasing a home and being able to realize what I call the American dream. Everybody wants to own a house. So we want to make sure that they have the opportunity for the American dream. We built 10 houses on that 1 acre tract, and they're beautiful homes.
Oh, very
They're
nice.
beautiful
Very
homes. Yes, but they owning it. They will own those, so they got to keep them up. Yeah.
That's the product we want to bring to you. Yeah. Yeah. And again, with my district, there's a huge need. There's been a need for many, many years. Yeah. No. It's something that I think in my next town hall meeting, I'll have concept plans that I can show you. We'll definitely be working on that. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Del Bosque, for having this town hall meeting. My question, well, first of all, my name is Ana Coca, and I'm going to be running for at-large for District Place 8 at-large, special elections on January 31st. So please, I'm honored to be here, and thank you, Mr. Del Bosque, for hosting town hall meeting. My question is, I'm a teacher. I'm an educator for 30 years, and we're trying to bring early college to Grand Prairie. So if you can kind of help us continue the relationship and talking to Mountain View College or to see the possibility of bringing early college courses here to collaborate with Grand Prairie ISD.
Yeah, so that's been an ongoing project for not only myself, but Councilman Lopez. We worked on a project to bring higher education to Grand Prairie. And this must have been about 4 years ago. Excuse me. And so I guess we can talk about this, right? So we had an opportunity to bring Texas A&M to Grand Prairie. And it was going to be on the corner of Beltline and I-30. We've got a little over 40 acres there. They've always wanted to be in Dallas County. And so, excuse me, we even had it to where the chancellor of A&M was going to fly us to College Station to talk. We lost that project by 1 vote. 1 vote. And if anybody's been to Bryan Station, you see what's there. So they said, okay, Grand Prairie, y'all don't want to do it? We're going to Fort Worth. 2 years ago, they opened up their law school, $250 million project. Last year, they're putting another $150 million into it to bring restaurants, retail, hotels, everything. We missed out on a lot of taxable dollars there. But, excuse me, my apology. That being said, you know, what are other things that we can do? You know, so we haven't given up. We see Grand Prairie is a very industrial city. We see that there is a need for higher education. We see that there is opportunity that we can do. The problem is, at times, our council, they don't see the vision. And that's the short answer. Thank you. They don't see the vision. They don't see the opportunities that, hey, this is what's going to be in the next 5 years, 10 years. And so when you have that, you know, it's very challenging, to say the least. And so it's still there. The opportunity is still there. There's some, you know, hurdles that I have to jump through. But it would have been really good to have them now. Not everybody may not be an Aggie or, you know, maybe a UT fan, whatever. But it's the money that they bring us. It's the education that they bring us. It's a collaboration with the school districts. You know, so one of my projects that I've been working on with higher education is when we all grew up, we all had workshop, right? Skill trade, learn this. When you get out of school, you can go be a carpenter, whatever, right? Well, times have changed, just like the garbage, AI, Tesla, times have changed. A project that I'm working on, and I need to spend more attention to it, is we have 2 companies in Grand Prairie that they were awarded military contracts, over $4 billion in military contracts. It's to bring Lockheed Martin and Bell Helicopter into our high schools to teach that skill. That if that student doesn't want to go to college, not all kids want to. I tried. Mom and dad can tell you. I tried to go to school. I took my midterms with my truck packed. I said, it isn't for me, but I'll make it happen. But it's for those young adults that may not have that urge to go, but they want to be a worker. I'm a worker. Nothing wrong with it. I learned it from my dad. But it's like for Bell Helicopter, they do a lot of fabrication for helicopters. They were awarded the 3 new helicopter plant designs, $4 billion in that. But to teach a 17, 18-year-old coming out of high school a skill that now they can be an asset to the community instead of being a liability, to be able to start into adulthood out of high school at a $70,000 annual salary. That's awesome. That's bringing true value. And then on top of that, teaching them economics, how to manage your bank account. Doesn't think that, hey, you get to go spend it all, right? How to invest it, things of that.
Modine.
Yeah, you got Modine, the one that we just saw, doing things of that. Bringing those companies into our school systems to teach. Now, that's true value. Those that want to go to school, we were fortunate that I was able to go to Lockheed Martin and do a walkthrough. And I saw their missile command, their design center. I thought they were playing video games. Honestly, you sit down in these couches, you lean back, you've got a wall of nothing but TVs, and they're designing those missiles. Those missiles are going to, Ukraine. A lot of them took off there. And so you see these young adults, engineers, all designing what tomorrow's all about in these game rooms. And if you can see that concept, but in the high schools to learn them, you're way above the curve, around the curve, and you're very competitive to other cities. And so those are things that I believe as a council, as a city council, that we should be working with our school board trustees. In my district, I have Gloria Carrillo, which is at large, but I have Brian Parra and David Espinosa. In the past, I would ask, can I have a meeting? Well, you got to do this. You got to get with the attorney. Man, I just want to talk. But that's a lot of it that I need to knock down the wall between me and the ISD and to say, hey, how can we collaborate together and really represent our city of the need? If you look at it, of what we're doing and how are we preparing our kids for tomorrow? What can we do today that'll benefit them tomorrow? So yes, I'm constantly looking at that. I love to create. I'm an entrepreneur. I've been that since 19 years old. And so I've always found a way to create things and do things. So this is just a project that, I'll continue to work on. So next slide, please.
We have an online question.
Okay.
It's more transportation. They wanted to ask, can we get self-driving or robotic taxis to Grand Prairie like Waymo or May Mobility to help complement via Grand Prairie? We need more options than via Grand Prairie. So that was a comment.
That's funny because we just had a conversation about that at our last council meeting. I think in the near future, that'd be awesome. But I think right now it's just the ability to get that. It's not in Grand Prairie yet. And it's not that we couldn't. It's just that product is not ready to take on mass. Yeah. Next slide. So when we're looking at what we're doing here for the international corridor is to be able to create these lanes here. If you're walking, riding, is to create these so that people can come out and they don't have to be on the street. And so that's what we're talking about, is widening the street, using what's access is there. That way families can walk to the grocery store, ride their bikes to the grocery store without any risk of getting hurt. So that's what we're looking at, going back to the international corridor. Next slide, please. This is, if anybody wants to take a picture of this, this here, the QR. This gives any notifications, emergency alerts, anything that's happened on. Here's our information. If y'all want to get your cameras out and take a picture of this here, our phone number, email. Next slide. This are other ways that you can follow us to get any updates, to connect, give suggestions, videos, anything like that. Everything now is going to social media. You know, does anybody still read the newspaper? Honestly, I mean, that's the sign of times, right? Yeah. Yeah. Next slide. All right. I think we've already answered all the questions. But does anybody have any questions about anything? If we can get a microphone.
More trash cans on corners.
I noticed more trash. The kids, I've even seen it. I honk at them. They just chunk it right out their window.
Yeah.
They're
Kids being lazy.
It's not only them, it's the adults. I've
Mhm.
even stopped somebody and picked it up and handed it right back to them.
We have trash cans on our main corridors like Carrier, 14th Street, Great Southwest. Yeah. No, that's something that I can get with our staff on that. Yeah, we just have to set a budget and do that. Yeah. I know that we're going to be doing that at Mi Familia. We're going to be adding recycle bins out there because there's a lot of water bottles that just throw in plastic bottles. Yes, sir.
I was just curious. You had one of your councilmen resign. What is happening to his place?
Can we talk about that? Yeah. So it's a special election. It opened up Wednesday. That he has decided to resign to run for a state rep. I think it's 101. But yeah, so we're going to have a special election. That election day is January 31st. If there is a runoff, which there'll be because there's 6 people running, then that'll jump and loop over to April because we have our primaries going on right now. Is it primaries? Right? Our primaries are starting. Yeah.
As municipality cannot have an election within 30 days of the primary election, 30 days prior to or 30 days after. Therefore, we're having the general election on January the 31st. After the general election on January 31st to fill the vacated position, which is in place 8, then we have to wait if there's a runoff until April in order to hold that runoff. And then 30 days after that, we will have the regular election. That is our normal city election.
That'll go to the first Saturday in May. Yes. Yeah.
No.
Well, it's going to be, that's when you're going to vote. If there's the runoff, you'll vote in May. Yeah. Yeah. And then that's just to finish that term out. It's like a year and a half. And then it starts.
It's a year and 2 months.
Year and 2 months.
What would boil down to is whoever wins that election for place 8, they will serve until May of 2027. Those that do not, those that are, the normal city election is going to be in May of 2026. And there's typically 3 places that are run during that election.
Correct.
So there will be 3 places that will be up for election in May of 26. And I'm not going to tell you which places they are because I know who they are, but I'm not going to say it.
Can't say.
Because I'm non-political.
Can't do that.
There are 3 places that will be up for election in May. And at that point in time, those people will have 3-year terms, new 3-year terms. And then place 8 will come up again in 27 to be elected again for a 3-year term of whoever is in that seat or whoever wins that election for the full 3-year term.
There we go. Anybody else?
But Michael, I have a question also, I'm sorry. Okay, this, place 8, the councilman that's, resigning. Anybody and everybody in Grand Prairie can vote, right? It's not just one district, it's for everybody. It's at large, yes.
Yes, so anybody can. We'll talk about that afterward. Can't talk about certain things here. Hello? Anybody? All right. So anybody have any other? Anybody else? We're good? Yeah? Okay.
My question has to do with the containers that come into our city. I see this, we just got back from McAllen, Texas. They use them over there. And for me, I know that it's doing away with some of the work for people, but the other one, it doesn't really look good because there in our street, for example, there's overcrowded with some cars already. And you have your container over there. You see those vehicles going to pick up the containers? I mean, I can see where it's a problem and not more a solution.
No, it's right. So you look at a lot of the streets in our district, you'll have, if it's a double car garage, you'll have 2 to 4 cars in the driveway. And then you'll have another 3 or 4 out on the road, on the sidewalk. And then, so where do you put them, right? Do you put them outside more? And does that get in more of the street? The issue is there's no stopping it. It's coming. We just have to find a solution. Do they put the cans right in front? Is the garbage truck gonna have their arms to extend enough to grab it? Do they got to come more out in the street? That's just gonna be trial and error. I mean, that's what it's gonna come to be. We can't we can't force the residents that they can't park there. It's fight, because we've talked about it. How many cars do we allow per house? We really don't have that. We know they can't park on the grass. We're having to look at, I think it's 16 feet for fire trucks. They have to trim them up, prune the trees up. But those are all things that we've got to just work through. I mean, it's whether we like it or not, they're coming. It's how do we adjust to that? And some of us may like it, some of us may not. When we did the census, it was 50-50.
It was 49-51.
There you go.
So it's basically a 50-50 vote as to whether or not we wanted carts then. Back then, it was an option. It's no longer an option.
Right.
Because the industry has turned to where they only do carts. And a lot of that has to do with the availability of manpower. Frankly, they cannot find workers that are willing to stand on the back of a truck and pick up trash every day.
Yeah.
So that's where automation came into play, and this is a sign of the times. This is just something we're going to have to adjust to. We know that there's going to be glitches, and that's why we're having an initial 6-month pilot program so we can try to figure out ways to address some of the issues that may come up.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Get a microphone. Can you get him?
And last year they changed Bill Arnold back to a regular junior high. And so now, instead of cars waiting to get into Bill Arnold school, they park over on our street, drop the kids off, which really isn't a problem. But picking up at 4 or 5 o'clock at night, they park on both sides of the street, and it's hard to turn into our subdivision. That as well, if there's anything we can do about that.
So for me, it's just to get with the school, with the ISD, get with whoever is the trustee and work with them and say, hey, look, we have an issue. But do you have one of my cards? Yeah. Please, I would say, text me, email me. And I pretty much have every one of their cell phones. I can email them or text them and share it and say, hey, we need to talk about this. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know if you don't. It's all communication.
Yeah.
I'm more than willing to help and get everyone involved. And you'll hit the fast lane with me, or you can call and get in line at City Hall. And I can tell you the average, it'll take weeks and weeks where I can do it in days. So that's what we all work here together. You let me know and I'm here to serve you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Just don't call after. No. Oh, are we good? Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for spending some time. Yeah. I hope everyone has my card. And if y'all have anything, just, reach out to me, text me. I'm better at text. But besides that, everyone have a blessed Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you.